Tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but now I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video.
What is
for credits?
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
And 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Again. 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Again. 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
What was his problem? Holy shit.
I think Taylor Swift behaves like that every single day of her life.
So do I. I think that that's how she wakes up. I think that she even behaves that way when she's sleeping. Quite frankly, I think that that's what she does.
I fear any man who has to, sleep beside her if, I don't know. I imagine she has, these little throw pillows everywhere, and if you just toss it on the floor rather than carefully putting it away, she's just like, fuck it, we'll do it live!
We chose this as our opening because for whatever reason, whenever we try to hook up to do this, there's always some sort of technical glitch in the beginning where we can't see each other, or I can't hear Rainey and we can't figure it out. So Rainey made me die laughing and she's like, fuck it, we'll do it live.
But to begin, hi, I'm Rainey and she's Rita.
I'm Rita.
The wonderful, amazing Rita, and together we are the Underbelly.
Underbelly, where we dig into things, different topics, so quite frankly, you don't have to.
We do a public service.
We take it for the team, goddammit, and
we do it live! We do it live, goddammit!
We'll do it live. So,
I so badly want that to be my ringtone from now on.
Imagine being in public. Fuck it, we'll do it. But the sad thing is that I have felt Bill O'Reilly's rage. I know exactly, I don't know why he's angry, and it sounds a little ridiculous to me, but at the same time, I have totally flipped out over things that are probably trivial like that. I've never really quite gotten why he's so angry, why he was so angry, but whatever.
I never noticed until today that this involved Sting. Did you catch that?
Yeah, God forbid he doesn't have the best lead-in to Sting. But so the funny thing is, we're going to be talking about Taylor Swift today. However, you might wonder why we don't have Taylor Swift leading us in, because, we certainly thought that Shake It Off has been a good intro for us a couple of times. We like to switch it up. Well, Rainey, would you like to explain why we're not using Taylor Swift as our intro?
Bitch took us down!
She's so ridiculous. Rainey messages me and she's like, listen, we have a problem. We were taken down because we used Taylor Swift as our opening. I was like, shut the fuck up. And she's like, no, seriously. And so what I want to know.
And I have the receipts. I will show everyone the screen caps. It will be here on this podcast.
So my question is, did someone report us, or does she just have this crazy filter? Because do you remember, so this is not remember, this is brand new news. This person on this very, obscure website blog posted that Taylor Swift is now a favorite of the alt-right and, all the neo-Nazis and all that jazz. And that she's actually, this idol for them, whatever it is. And so Taylor and her lawyers have completely flipped out. They've, removed the website, all this crazy stuff, and everybody was like, listen, Taylor, nobody would even have known about this if you hadn't made such a big deal about it.
Yeah.
It was such an obscure site that nobody even heard of. So
Okay,
you know what,
I do.
We're going to get ourselves listened.
I do have to admit that since it is from a West Coast blogger called Popfront, I don't check it myself, but I have heard of it, and now she's fighting with the ACLU.
Exactly, and you know what? I've never heard of it, and I think that maybe it's a local thing or whatever. But I read a whole thing about how it hardly had any traffic.
Oh,
no!
What I mean?
It wasn't a big deal, but now her website, her blog is getting slammed because of all of this publicity, and it's like everybody's making fun of Taylor. Because you know what? I mean, it really is such a ridiculous claim.
It's
like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I would totally have been on Taylor Swift's side if someone told me, like, hey, you know what? Taylor Swift is the front of the alt-right. Because, goddamn, if it's not the most ridiculous thing in the world.
It's so ridiculous. But she just looks like a big bully. And the ACLU is flipping their shit because they're like, listen, freedom of speech, people should be able to say what they want to say. They should be able to criticize you. And by shutting this down, I mean, is she like the Donald Trump of pop stars now? Like, that's a ridiculous statement that, let the public be like, that's absurd. And let crazy people who think that, people are lizards secretly underneath their flesh and clothing. I mean, let them think that if they want. It's such a absurd, but by making such a stink about it, and this is just so typical Taylor, fucking Taylor, because this is something that she would do. It's so ridiculous and extra and extreme. And she just, like, I think that she's somebody, and this is why we're going to rant about her tonight. I think that she's somebody who is so obsessed with how she crafts her persona that she can't handle anything like this. It's just so funny. Like, I want to know how they found out about this blog, and I want to know how,
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, okay, I want to believe that all other bloggers are secretly watching the Underbelly podcast going like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about? Oh, Jesus Christ, cutting age blogging here. Come on, man. Like, aside from my mom, who's listening to us? Right? Come on now, Rita. Who's seriously listening to us aside from my mom? And maybe your mom.
My mom, no.
I'm sure.
My mom would be like, I feel like I would tell her to listen and she'd be like, okay, and then she just would never listen, so I just never asked her to listen.
Okay, well, my mom is uber supportive because, like, Asian moms and stuff, like, totally want their kids to do well. So she's like, okay, are you getting paid for your blog yet? I'm like, no, Mom, we're not getting enough followers, people to listen. And she's like, okay, I'll listen again.
One day.
My mom.
Listen, we're already fucking awesome. Everybody else just needs to catch up. And I'm sorry, Rainey's mom, for cursing. We have been pumped all day to tear Taylor apart that I just feel really angry right now. Plus, let me just tell you, it has been a rough couple of weeks, so it is really cathartic for me to just be cursing right now. I'm sorry, Rainey's mom. Hopefully you understand. I'll try to tone it down.
No, it's Amy. My mom doesn't care. She knows how I talk.
I just grew up in a family of cursors that I don't even think about it. However, there are times where I'm talking to somebody and I realize that I'm saying fuck way too much. I'm like, oh my God, I sound really dumb right now because every other word is the F word and that's just kind of boring. But I just grew up in this house where everybody curses. I mean, you should hear my mother. She's like 69 years old and she has got a mouth on her, let me tell you.
Hey, my mom swears. She just doesn't make sense when she's swearing.
But how have, besides Taylor, before we get into Taylor, how have you been, Rainey?
Basically pay that Bill O'Reilly soundbite in a loop, and that's been just my couple of weeks.
Fuck it, we'll play it live.
I'm telling you, awesome ringtone. Oh, Jesus Christ. But you know what? And I just feel, okay, first we lost Kevin Spacey, right? Because
Listen, what the fuck? I'm sorry. What the fuck though? So you don't understand. My friend sent me the link to the article, and you know how like in your well, you don't have an iPhone because you're lame.
Android user, yeah.
Too cool for iPhones.
I'm
whatever.
too West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah. Your ultimate West Coast. Excuse me. But like, I imagine that you have the same thing. That when somebody sends you a link, you can kind of see the preview of it.
Yeah.
So my friend sent me, the thing about Kevin Spacey, and I mean, let's just say as a side note that this shit that's going on with Hollywood is just really disturbing and upsetting and shocking. Though at the same time, I have to be honest with you that I'm not that shocked.
Mm-hmm. Well, I am today with George Takei.
Oh my! So wait, so let's get to that. But as a general thing, like when all this shit started coming out,
mm-hmm.
I kind of was like, it was surprising to find out the specifics. But as a whole, I mean, Hollywood has been creepy since the beginning of time. The casting couch. I mean, we don't have these terms for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Fatty Arbuckle, like crushing that underage girl to death.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's just nothing that that's surprising about it. About the actual, in general, whatever. So my friend sends me the article about Kevin Spacey, and I see it, in the preview.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what the fuck, Kevin Spacey? Because to me, I wasn't surprised he was gay. I thought for a long time that he was gay.
Oh yeah, I mean, although in House of Cards, I did want to marry Vice President Kevin Spacey.
I never watched House of Cards.
Don't. It'll break your heart.
And now I feel like obviously it's ruined. I always
mm-hmm.
told myself, oh, I'm gonna get into it, and I just never did, and now of course, whatever. But I mean, I was surprised because he seemed like a really nice, down to earth person.
Yeah, right?
So that's pretty shocking.
Mm-hmm.
And then this George Takei stuff, I mean, it's interesting because, I have him on Facebook and whatever.
Oh,
and,
I too follow sassy George Takei.
Yeah, and, not for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
People have a point in their comments to him because he issued a statement on Facebook and he was
mm-hmm.
like, this happened 30 years ago or whatever, and I don't even know this person, and, yada, 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 essentially denying all the claims and that he doesn't even know who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
And people are writing in his comments, and they kind of have a point. He has... Let's pick up where we left off. Let's fucking do it live. We were talking about fucking Kevin Spacey.
Okay. We're on.
We're on?
We're on. I put us on. Fucking Taylor Swift did this to us. Okay.
Totally Taylor Swift.
You know what? She took down Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, totally. I'm not worried about Russia. I'm not worried about Trump. I'm not worried about North Korea. I'm worried about Taylor Swift. Because this is totally her. She has bugs everywhere.
Okay.
She's terrifying.
How else to explain how she knows what we did?
Exactly. She totally has her own arsenal of nuclear weapons. Listen, I don't even feel safe saying this. She's probably gonna have her army here in 5 seconds, and you'll probably never hear from me again. And if you don't, know that it was Taylor Swift.
She did it.
Anyway, fucking George Takei. Listen, I don't know. I honestly, I think that this kind of should teach him a lesson though, about being careful about, going after people. Some people in the comments have stated that he's only gone after people who have definitively been proven guilty, who have either confessed to it or whatever. I don't really necessarily know that that's true. I think that everybody needs to be careful these days because as many accurate and honest confessions out there of people coming forward and saying, you know, accusations saying that this has happened to them. There are also going to be people now who are going to come out and make false statements. So everybody needs to be careful. And
I don't listen to Howard Stern, but what is this being circulated around that they're saying that he admitted on Howard Stern that he gets handsy with people?
So, yeah, I don't listen to Howard Stern either, but I know what you're referring to, and as a matter of fact, there's a picture going around.
No,
right,
there's a picture?
Yeah, so I guess
Where
Howard
the
Stern,
fuck am I?
Listen, I only have paid attention to this on the very surface, so I could be incorrect about some of the details.
Okay.
But,
no, you are much more in the know than I am.
I don't think so, but what I saw was that there was a picture being circulated around. I guess Howard Stern had invited a few naked male men onto the show. And there is a picture, and listen, I don't know what the context is of this, and, you know, whatever, but it certainly doesn't look good for him. He is holding on to the man's pixeled penis.
Oh my goodness, really?
I mean, like you do. I mean, listen, I don't know why anybody goes on to Howard Stern. Listen,
he's pervy.
I don't know. What?
As one pervert, you know, I think that Howard Stern is like way too pervy. I'm a pervert myself, man, but
you know what's weird is he's actually incredibly intelligent and pretty talented.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing his was on his life.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. And
it was good, and it showed. Fortunately, he's just a pervert, and you know, and I mean, not like us.
Not a fun pervert, but a pervert.
I don't know if you saw this. And, you know, it obviously doesn't pertain to Taylor, and we're going to eventually get back there, but I don't know if you saw this, but it was circulating around on Facebook as well. Baby Spice.
Yes.
On Howard Stern, way back when.
Mm-hmm. I remember reading about it, and it was a really good interview, everyone says.
I watched it, and it was so disturbing. And I don't know who his fucking sidekick is. It's not, you know, what's her name?
Robin.
Yeah, not Robin. She wasn't there that day. It was this fat, disgusting gnome-looking man. And he was really perverted. Like, Howard Stern was perverted enough, but, like, to have this chode-looking man, I'm sorry, ratings bomb, but to have this man who was so gross, having him, like, adding on these comments, I mean, it was so disgusting. And the whole time, you know, she really tried to hold her ground with it, but it was just so perverted. I mean, it made me very uncomfortable. So, but unfortunately, he's a shock jock. And you sort of know what you're going to get when you go on there. And I'm not, you know, it's not like I'm victim blaming. I'm just saying he's so fucking gross that I don't understand why people go on there.
Is it like for, like you said, he's a shock jock and everything. Like, is it to show that they're cool?
I don't understand what it is. I mean, Donald Trump himself has been on there a handful of times.
A lot.
And you know what?
With his daughter.
Yeah. And I just think that I don't understand. This is the thing that frustrates me, right? I don't understand why we as a society have embraced him, have made him popular, and unfortunately, as a byproduct of that, have feel like they need to go on there for any sort of publicity. And, you know, she, like, even says in the interview, and this is what makes me sad, is that, like, she already anticipated it and felt so forced that she had to go into it. But, she, like, even said, like, he starts in right away, and she's like, I knew you were going to ask me these questions, and she's obviously visibly uncomfortable. And this is the thing, it's like she knew that's what's even sadder to me. it wasn't like she went there and she was surprised. She knew, and yet she felt compelled to go into it. That's what's sad.
I remember reading people defending it and saying it was a good interview because he, like, really got her to admit a lot of things and stuff, and I'm just like, about what? What did he get her to admit? It just sounds so weird. Like, oh, you go on Howard and he gets you to admit things you're surprised that you're talking about, and I'm like, seriously? Seriously?
Even when she was
Mm-hmm.
relevant, when I was a child, she was in Spice Girls and all that jazz, I never was that interested in her life. I wasn't interested when she first had sex. Like, none of that stuff was interesting to me.
Mm.
And the whole purpose of that interview was for the men who are fucking disgusting, who sit in their basements, or were, sitting, looking up to Howard Stern as their fucking god. And that's what that was catered to. There was nothing, at least in the snippet, and admittedly, how do I say? Okay. I was only listening to a snippet of it. I didn't sit there and watch or read the whole interview because, again, like I said, it doesn't interest me. And that, I think, even speaks more to the creepiness of it because she's a pop star. I mean, shouldn't I, at that time, listening to the Spice Girls, shouldn't I have been the target of that interview?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I just think, and I just feel very, I watched it and I felt, and what I said before, like, I'm not blaming her. I'm saying that I just feel sorry for her that she knew he was going to be fucking creepy. And yet, for whatever reason, she felt like she had to go on the show. I mean, imagine that. Imagine what.
Totally. Totally. I would just be like, ew, I need to leave. But, putting on a smile and pretending everything's, professional.
Right. So, unfortunately, Hollywood is a mess right now, and all these accusations are coming out, and I have a feeling that it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better.
Oh yeah, Louis C.K. as well.
Oh my God! First of all, I was so disappointed in this, and I remember hearing a rumble of it a few years ago, and you think like, unfortunately, men are so conditioned to a certain extent that probably every man in their life, and probably many women, have been in some way, in that way. Do you know what I mean? Like, women who are admiring men's asses and everything, that all the fucking male assholes that are adverse to feminism love to point out, well, you love to, talk about men's asses and
yeah, like, I'm not saying that, like, women are perfect little angels and we've never been inappropriate because, I don't know if you caught this, but Mariah Carey's, former bodyguard is saying that, like, she was way inappropriate with him.
No, I didn't hear.
Yeah, apparently there were times where she would, like, call him up and say, like, I'm ready to go, and she'd be like, diddling herself.
Ew, I fucking hate her.
Yeah.
I hate her. I think she's a mess. What she did the last New Year's Eve show showed how much of a mess she is because she just, whatever.
Yeah, totally. Like,
whatever,
how could you mess up your own song?
Well, yeah, she's a mess. The guy who
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Finn, Wolfhard or whatever, that whole thing came out where
the Stranger Things guy, Mike.
Yeah, I think his name is Finn Wolfhard.
He has the best name.
I know, right? I mean, that's great name. That's a very strong name.
Uh-huh.
But the male model, I don't even know how old she is. Young, but she's of age. She's like, hit me up in 4 years or something like that. And everybody's tearing her apart And it is really interesting because
well, I think that we should always use this rule that if some pervy guy said that to, you know, a teenage girl, we would so not think it was kosher.
I think actually I have to say that I'm very happy that people did make a big deal about it. Should have been made about it. So, you know, all the stuff that's coming out, I'm like, Louis C.K. is so disappointing. There's somebody else I was really disappointed by, and I can't.
Is it the Gossip Girl guy? I never watched Gossip Girl.
So I never watched Gossip Girl either. It's Ed Westwick.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I was surprised by that. Oh, and I know who I was thinking about. Dustin Hoffman.
No, what happened?
Bitch, you were way behind.
Well, you have to explain fidget spinners to me.
So, like, a few weeks ago, you know, I'm not quite sure about the dates, but he's one of the first. This woman who was filming with him said that, you know, back in the 70s, said that he was, you know, constantly harassing her. One morning she came in and asked him what he wanted for breakfast. She was like an assistant. And he said that he wanted a hard-boiled clitoris.
No.
Yeah, he was like asking her about the last person that she had sex with, like all this shit, like, and a lot. It was very pervasive. It was constant. It was embarrassing. I think that she made a complaint, or he was harassing her to such an extent that it became you know what I mean? It was one of those things where they approached her about it.
But he was in.
Listen, that happened, I guess. I'm sorry.
He straight up admitted.
I don't think, like, so this is the beauty of it, right? He could come out and be like, this happened a while ago, like, I really apologize for making her feel uncomfortable. I believe his statement was something like that, which essentially is admitting to it.
Ugh, goddamn.
It's so disappointing. I remember messaging my mom about it, and I was like, Ma, do you believe this? Because it's Dustin Hoffman. She loves Dustin Hoffman. And this is the problem. It's like now, all these people who have been stifling all this stuff and not coming out with it, and then now all this shit is coming out at once, especially, and it's about people who are to Hollywood and endeared to us, the audience. It makes, you know, obviously it makes sense why people have been so reluctant to come forward, but shit, you know, I mean, it's just shocking.
All I'm saying is, if Tom Hanks gets taken down, I'm gonna kill a bitch.
Yeah, I don't, you know, what's really funny is I was just reading something and it was talking about how squeaky clean Tom Hanks is.
Oh God, he's gonna fall.
I don't know. I can't, I would be so shocked. I would be so shocked if something came out about it.
No, I always think of it as, like, okay, you know how People Magazine always puts out, like, oh, couples, they've been together for so long, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and, you know, they put things like, oh, you know, Anna Faris and Chris Pratt, they break up. Like, I don't even care about Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, but they put them there and we're all like, oh, you know, our modern day Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, they break up. So I'm like, I don't know, I'm trying to condition myself not to love Tom Hanks as much as I do, but, you know, I'm bracing myself. But, like, George Takei totally came out of nowhere. I'm just like, who's fucking next? Jackie Chan? I will die if it's Jackie Chan.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I was reading a whole thing about how, you know,
oh no. Do you have someone else?
He has, no, but, like, you know, he has been such a positive role model, and, you know, unfortunately it's such an underdeveloped representation in Hollywood, and that, like, you know, he's been so beloved, he's been such an inspiration, and
yeah, I feel like I'm gonna die.
I'm just hoping that it comes out not true. I have to confess that I haven't read too many of the details because
you don't want to know either. You don't want to know either.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't want any of it to be true, but then I feel like by not looking at it,
they're like, well, what did you expect was going to happen after a date going back to his house? And it's like, there's just so many things.
Yeah, like, okay, so, you know, I was talking with my friend, and he was saying, like, oh yeah, you know, like, everyone we looked up to is going down. He's like, I bet you, you know, because he's like Italian Catholic, right? And he's like, you know, I'm just like trying to get ready in case it comes out that Pope John Paul did something shady, and he has to like go catch his grandma when she passes out. Because, you know, that's his grandma's Pope.
Well, arguably, wouldn't you say he did plenty of shady? I mean, they paid up how many priests?
Oh, no, like that he was personally. According to him, the way his grandmother says it is, it's not his fault. He was just surrounded by people that lied to him. So.
Oh, right, he didn't sign off and fund and send them away.
Hey, this is not my grandmother. This is Dominic's Italian grandmother.
You know, I have a bunch of nephews right now,
and
it came up as a whole conversation because, you know, they've all gotten Christian, you know, they were all Christian. And we were, you know, my mother my family is from an Irish Catholic family, and both of my parents came from strict Irish Catholic families.
That's why the Keepers resonated so hard with both of us.
Yes. And, my mother said that she can't be a part of it anymore because of the years of covering it up. I was at camp when I was a child, and I had this, you know, it was run by a church nearby, famous church, sort of. And one of the priests he sort of worked as also a camp counselor, but he was sort of in charge of the whole camp, was so charismatic and wonderful, and I fucking loved him.
No.
And I hated
no. Please think it's going.
Oh, it is. When I was a kid, I had to go to church, and I hated it, but I went. And I, you know, go to this camp, and I have to be honest with you, my mom, when I was a kid, sent me to a lot of camps because at that point, because I was the baby of the family, there were very little people around to watch me over the summer. And I went 2 years in a row. And I loved it, and I loved him. I worshipped him. I thought he was great. We all loved him. Maybe if, you know, when all the height of the accusations came out, he was named, and he had a whole slew of people.
Oh, Jesus.
I was completely shocked. Completely shocked. And it just goes to show, how beloved these people can be. It's just shocking to me. It really is. So, you know, my mom has this problem now with where feels like she can't go to church or support the church because of the whole thing. And I feel the same way. And it's like, you know, there is that argument. Well, like, did Pope John Paul. Pope John Paul. John Paul. Am I fucking kidding?
You're gonna go to hell.
Did he actually molest anybody? I don't know. Does it matter?
It will to Dominic's grandmother, okay? Which leads me to this question, Rita, bringing it back into our original, fuck it, we're gonna do it live, segment. Is it better now that we see Taylor for the crazy fucked up bitch that she is, or should she have kept up her veneer and we find out later, kind of like, you know, Joan Crawford in Mommy Dearest, how messed up she is after we've had her for a good, I don't know, 15, 20 years?
Well, I think that if Joan Crawford were alive today and, rising up in fame, it would be a different story. We have social media, we have people who post on Reddit about their experiences with celebrities. If you read anything, I think this is actually really interesting, if you read anything about her when she went to school, when she was a kid, everybody says she was a fucking bitch.
I thought she was homeschooled.
She was in school for a while.
Oh, okay.
And I think she was homeschooled later in her career. But there's all these people who post about, knowing her. And there's a similar element to all of them.
Ooh, okay. Tell.
Just essentially that she was just a huge bitch and really mean. And, all these people are like, it's so funny that she projects this image.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not. And I have to say, and Rainey, people out there probably wonder, why do we care? Well,
because bitch took us down.
The bitch took us down, and she's freaking miserable. I freaking can't stand her. For a while, when she came out with 1989, the album,
mm-hmm.
I have to be honest, I liked it. It was catchy.
I defended her for Shake It Off and that whole cultural appropriation stuff that I thought was just like way over the line. I seriously, I was like, really? This is the mountain we're gonna die on? I thought that accusation was just ridiculous in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought it was ridiculous too. I think that people in this world are getting way too PC and too crazy and it's all a witch hunt. On the other hand, I think that she's a bitch. And I'm not even going to get into the cultural appropriation aspect. I think that she's just a bitch. I think that she kept up that narrative, the tension between her and Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I feel like everybody's familiar with it. Should we refresh everyone's memories about their whole...
You know what? Let's go into a more innocent time. Do you remember when Taylor came out as an underdog? When she first initially came out in 2003?
Yeah, she had, the song where she's in the bleachers, right?
No, even before that. Teardrops on My Guitar.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
When she had like curly hair and she was so sweet and she was supposed to be, I'm just a girl with my guitar and everything, and how her mom would like travel with her and she didn't even have her own hotel room, that her mom was her roommate and everything.
I never liked her.
I can see you. I mean, we're having technical issues, so we can't see each other, but I can see you rolling your eyes when I said how her mom was her roommate and she didn't even have her own room.
I didn't even roll my eyes because at this point, I'm just so used to hearing all this absurd stuff, and this just goes back to her. Actually, I guess we have to give her some sort of praise
mm-hmm.
that even at a young age, she was always able to craft this persona of being the underdog when she never really was, right?
I don't think so.
She was bullied, she was picked on. If you read, I mean, seriously, go on to Reddit, go on to anything, Google it. All these people that knew her before her fame or even during the beginning stages of it
mm-hmm.
will tell you that she's actually a fucking bully herself. She was a bitch. And honestly, I'm not surprised. I mean, she really, and I know we're going to get to it, but I mean, I feel like Kimye, how do you pronounce it?
I always thought it was Kimye.
Kimye, okay. They really showed her for what she fucking is. And if some people kind of, got it before because of her stupid songs, but, I don't know if it's her parents from a young age that was able to help her with that or whatever it may be, or she just always had a really great team around her. But she's a very smart, business savvy person that she was able to cultivate that image and make it very believable. A lot of people were like, oh my God, Taylor, she's so picked. And you know what? She already started that narrative.
Oh yeah, but I think I think it crystallized in 2009 with the You Belong to Me song where, as you said, she's there on the bleachers, you know, and she plays the double role of nerdy Taylor and mean girl Taylor. She had that dark wig.
Yeah.
And that is the infamous music video where, you know, Kanye West storms the stage and says that, you know, it should have gone to Beyonce, which, by the way, he was right. It should have gone to Beyonce.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if you remember this, girl, but do you remember that even President Obama took Taylor's side?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
but go ahead.
Kanye was a fucking moron to do that.
Oh,
he may
yes.
be correct, but I have to admire him to a certain extent,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to say that you know, I have a love-hate relationship with Kanye because I think he is very. I think that his beginning work was very, 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 very good.
Oh yeah,
And
I love early Kanye.
I don't think that he does anything to help himself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so when he did that, he really I wish that he could go back in time and not do that, because I feel like he really played into.
I'm sure Taylor Swift went home and diddled herself that night and went, yes, I get to be the victim for the next 10 years.
Can you stop saying diddle herself? It's like the first time. It's so creepy. Diddled herself. You know what's worse?
Saying moist?
When people say Jill, she jilled herself. like she jilled her clit or whatever. It's so gross.
Okay, fine. She went off and she got off on herself.
Do you think, here's a question.
That she got off by herself after Kanye did that? Hell yeah.
No.
Oh.
She probably had one of her cats to help her.
Stop!
No.
Stop bringing Olivia Benson into this.
Wait, do you feel that she owes some of her popularity, if not all of her popularity, to Kanye?
I do. I really do. I think that if he hadn't gone there and she hadn't got to play the victim, and, I mean, come on, like, how many times did we see that image of Kanye going up there and Taylor looking all blonde and vulnerable and, you know, just like, oh my God, what's going on here? That was like her image, a perpetual victim, Taylor.
The quintessential white girl against black male, right? I mean,
yeah.
The way that, you know, it goes into that stereotype, it goes into that cultural memory.
Yeah, because, you know, she's pop country, she was pop country princess, and he's, you know, big, bad, air quotes, rapper or whatever, you know?
Right. And I have to be honest with you, I was aware of her. Like, I was aware of Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything about her. I don't feel like she really hit mainstream until that happened.
Yeah. I mean, like, maybe I would hear her song on the radio, but God help me, I couldn't tell her apart from any other pop princess.
I don't know if she would have had staying power if it hadn't been for what happened.
Well, yeah, because, you know, if you follow this timeline I'm looking at Cosmo, it has the Taylor Swift timeline, her rise to fame. The following year, in 2010, she starts dating your favorite actor of all time, Taylor Lautner from, you know, Jacob Black from Twilight fame, and they were it was.
Yeah. Don't fucking say that. People are gonna think you're serious. The way you just said it wasn't even like, I'm the only one who can pick up on the sarcasm because I know that is not true. The way you just said it was so convincing. It's like, oh, your favorite actor? Jesus, be careful with that. I don't want people thinking that.
Oh, come on. We all know that you wear Property of Taylor Lautner written across your underwear.
No, I wear Team Jacob underwear.
Exactly. Okay, I know you fucking hate him. But they started dating and it was like, "Oh, look, Taylor and Taylor." And I'm sorry. Okay. I know how petty this sounds, but I'm going to go out and say it. You know, she only dated him so she could scream out in orgasm, "Oh, Taylor, I love you." And it wouldn't sound weird.
Yeah, but she's a total narcissist.
I totally believe it. Like, it's like me going for a guy who is also named Rain just so I can scream out, "Rain, I love you." And he won't be like, "Are you looking at me? Why are you saying that? Why are you looking at yourself in the mirror?"
They were so obnoxious together.
They were even in that movie, Valentine's Day. It's like, stop. I hated all those.
Yeah.
I still to this day hate all those holiday movies.
Me too. I thought that movie was dumb.
And I think this is where it begins, the cycle of Taylor Swift and her ever-changing boyfriends from, John Mayer to, what do you call that? Harry Styles.
Yeah. And the best part of it is that, she writes this song about John Mayer, about how he should have realized that he was too old to mess with her, blah, 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 blah. And then he comes out and he's like, I kind of think it's messed up that she's writing a song about this, and it's kind of mean to do, and it is mean. It is mean. And then she has the nerve, and we'll get to this as well, that, in recent times about her reputation, but this is the reputation she gave herself. I don't feel sorry for her. Every song, she went after her exes.
I mean, yeah, I do get the double standard accusation because John Mayer wrote, like, "Your Body's a Wonderland" for Jennifer Love Hewitt.
He didn't write explicit breakup songs about people that you could easily identify and then malign that person's character. People really, and I think that John Mayer's career suffered because of it, to be honest with you.
Well, that and also saying in a Playboy interview that his penis is a white supremacist because he never wants to get with a black girl.
True. And I hate John Mayer. I hate John Mayer, so that is true. But I'm going to actually be so bold.
Oh, she didn't help.
I'm going to say it hurt more because people unfortunately care more about Taylor Swift than they probably care about racism.
Yeah, but
for fans.
But then, like, I think the part where I just got really tired of her was when she did her transformation, for the Red album. She straightened her hair and she started wearing that, like, red lipstick and everything.
I feel like that's the first time that I started to pay attention to her a little bit more, and I liked some of her music a bit more. And then with 1989 as well, liking that more, liking her stuff a little bit more. But I think around that time, that's when she was really the height of her victimhood.
Oh, yeah. I know in the same year, 2014, that's when she moved to New York because she became the official I Love New York girl or whatever thing about that. I don't know, Rita, you live in New York. Is she the official I Love New York girl?
No.
Not even going to hesitate about it?
No, and I get infuriated because for a few New Year's consecutively, she performed. And one year in particular, everybody was tearing her apart, and I was trying to be really positive that year. And I was like, oh my God, people are so mean. She's out there. She's really talented, whatever. And then it just gets to be too much. She just became oversaturated. And then, or the media became oversaturated with her. And then on her new album, which we'll talk about later, Reputation, do you know that she has this song called New Year's Day?
Oh, God, does she?
That is the most marketable thing I've ever heard. I can't. I was driving, yesterday, I think it was, and it came on the radio, and I was like, shut the fuck up. This bitch went there.
But you know what's so funny? this is all, you're so right that this is at the height of her victimhood, because, she was saying that, oh my God, why does the media always assume that every time I'm, pictured with a guy I'm dating, I just have a lot of friends, and she swears that since 2010, and this is an interview that she gives in 2014, that since 2010, she's only dated 2 people, and it was Connor Kennedy and Harry Styles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. All of those pictures with her with people, it looks so staged. And I know we're going to get to it later, but it's like when she was dating, quote unquote dating, Tom Hiddleston. Those things look so fucking staged.
Oh my God, it was so obviously a publicity stunt. That it was the most obvious publicity stunt that I've ever noticed in my life, in my adult life. They didn't even, to me, it wasn't even semi-convincing.
Oh, yeah. And this is also around the same year, 2014, where she starts fighting not with a person this time, but with Spotify.
So, I have a lot of opinions on this.
Okay,
I have mixed feelings on this. But
okay, do you want me to tell you mine?
Yes, please.
I do agree that Spotify did not pay indie artists enough. That they had, I guess, kind of like a tier system, And if it was Taylor Swift being the voice of the underdog, the indie artists, fine, whatever. But it just felt like she picked this fight in order to position herself as the eternal underdog, if that makes any sense.
Totally. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I feel that entertainers should be able to make money off of their creative work using than indie artists. I think that she, we see this with Spotify. She also, I believe, kind of cracked down on Apple a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. Same thing, same argument with Apple. That, she did that.
And to me, at the end of the day, it's her bottom line. It's the money that she's making or that she's losing. I think that artists, that singers, easy to sort of accept the fact that in this digital age, there are many ways that people are going to take their music and give it out for free, or that people are going to get it for free. And I think that a lot of artists have kind of settled with that, and that if you really love an artist, you are going to buy their music. Mm-hmm. If you have a really fan base, and that's where the money really is concerts. I think a lot of artists have kind of accepted that at this point.
Oh yeah, I know you're probably too young to remember this, but that's what happened with Napster, when Metallica fought with Napster and saying like, oh my God, this is gonna steal us money and everything. And then it turns out like, as long as you put out a good product, people will still buy your stuff. People will still go to your concerts.
Yeah, I remember Napster.
Okay.
And then there was another thing after it.
I don't remember. Do you
remember called FrostWire?
Oh yeah, I remember that. But I think for me, after Napster, I just went straight to Apple Music.
Yeah. I just think that, at some point they realize it's just how it is. It's unfortunate, and I don't obviously condone.
Well, I'm sure that you, as a creator, you're a very creative, artistic, you write, and you would totally get pissed off if someone took your hard work and, bastardized it or anything.
What's the unfortunate thing is it's sickening how many times I've bought probably the same thing on Apple.
I've been there. I've actually bought the same book twice.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Oh,
and like,
God, but...
Right now, I have Spotify, and I pay $10. I have the premium, so I pay $10 a month. But, so to me, I tell myself, you know, like, that's better. But, I don't know. So it was irritating for me because when I first got really into Spotify, that was kind of around the time that she had 1989 out. Mm-hmm. I remember going and I was like trying to add all my music, and I tried to add her, and I realized that she had like hardly any of her music on there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, what is it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, also at this time, this is when Taylor Swift starts her squad, and I'm gonna let you talk about that because I don't think people just want to hear me growling for the next 10 minutes. So do you want to talk about her squad and her 1989 single Bad Blood?
Her stupid squad, you mean?
Her squad she made just to fight Katy Perry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Her squad is the most manufactured, superficial thing I've ever seen.
Who the fuck calls her friend squad? I'm sorry.
Well, to be honest, for me, I think she really started the whole squad concept. You know, so now we have squad goals and all that shit, and I think that really stemmed from her. She had all these people that she collected. That's how I always viewed it. It wasn't more of, you know, a friendship. It was people that she's collected. And I think it's creepy. It's incredibly superficial, and it becomes most evident at her July 4th, her legendary July 4th Independence Day parties, where she has these people come and pose and try to look as perfect as possible. And, you know, that relates to her whole brief Tom Hiddleston affair. She brought him into that as well. But she has these relationships with these mostly models.
And Amy Schumer sometimes.
Who?
And Amy Schumer and Lena Dunham sometimes.
Yes. But Amy Schumer and Lena Dunham, however you fucking pronounce that bitch's name, don't fit into the aesthetic. Notice that they are her sideline friends. They are the girls that she hangs out with occasionally. Her main people that she gets together, that she has, is these stick figure models.
The Hadid sisters.
What?
The Hadid sisters.
Right, the Hadid sisters, a whole slew of people who I don't care about, and I know their names when I see it, but I can't think of them now because I don't care.
Selena Gomez, who's always sucking up to her for some reason.
Who?
Selena Gomez.
There's like this model that I can see in my mind.
Oh, Carly Kloss?
Yes.
Her doppelganger?
She has these girls who
look like her,
and the ironic part of her "Look What You Made Me Do" video, right? Mm-hmm. That she's standing up in the front, kind of like Hitler, which people have connected to the alt-right whole thing. Mm-hmm. She just, it frustrates me because she tries to say, like she has the Chloe Moritz girl, mm-hmm. right? And who else was like temporarily in it? She has these people who, again, like I said, she collects. And she collects for the cameras.
Oh, when she was briefly hanging out with Jennifer Lawrence and Lorde?
Exactly. And it's people who I feel like she collected so that Katy Perry wouldn't have them. Because we found out, because she wasn't really as subtle as she was pretending to be, that they had an argument, right? Because apparently Katy Perry took background dancers from her, I believe is the thing.
You're using the wrong word, Rita. stole.
Right. She stole them from her because, you know, Katy Perry is that powerful that she can compel people to do things against their will.
No.
So they left
Do you remember the narrative that was tried to be sold to us?
She stole.
Oh, no. It's, oh my God. It made me roll my eyes so hard I thought I was going to black out. Okay, so the story is that because poor little Taylor Swift was homeschooled and she really didn't have a lot of friends, her background dancers were like her friends and her family. So when Katy Perry stole them, she felt like when she was being bullied in school again, that someone popular came in and took all of her friends. Yeah.
Such an asshole.
Yeah, it's that. And I'm just like, do you think I'm fucking stupid?
Yeah, and I feel like Taylor Swift, think about how many careers she's affected. Like, John Mayer is an asshole. I hate him. If I saw him in person, I'd punch him in the face. He's a douchebag loser.
Who do you hate more? Ed Sheeran or John Mayer?
Wait, say your question again?
Who do you hate more, Ed Sheeran or John Mayer?
Ed Sheeran.
Ah. Okay.
100%. Do you disagree?
I don't know. Justin Bieber always beats them.
No. I just watched, it's funny, I just watched Bridget Jones's Baby.
Uh-huh.
On Netflix. For the longest time, I put it off because the second sequel was dumb.
Oh, I hated the second sequel.
Was dumb. Yeah, and I just was like, I don't want to see it. But it was like the other day, and I didn't have anything to do, and I was like, let me watch it. Whatever, let me watch it. And I have to say, it was really, really cute and funny. It was dumb, of course. It was stupid, but it was, you know, there was parts of it that were funny. And of course, Ed Sheeran had a cameo in it.
Oh, fuck me.
And of course, it made me think back to the dramatic and much talked about cameo in Game of Thrones.
Oh.
I feel like we should talk about in another episode because he has a lot of problems about him as well. Problematic issues. People have posted a lot of things about his lyrics, how they're sexist, and he plays into the nice guy, you know, the friend zone dude.
I need to know, am I allowed to call him a ginger cunt?
Totally, 100%.
Okay, I just wanted to know if that was just like out of line.
Around me, anyway. And quite frankly, I hate him more than Justin Bieber because I think that Justin Bieber, I feel sorry for Justin Bieber to a certain extent. I feel like he got famous very young, and I think his dad is a dick and an idiot. And I think he spends a lot of time with his dad, and I think that it all just came on very fast for him. I don't know. I like make excuses for him. Ed Sheeran is a different story. Ed Sheeran is a fucking gross mess.
I don't know. I just blame Usher for discovering Justin Bieber on YouTube.
Like, everybody should look up Pitchfork's review of Ed Sheeran's newest album because it's freaking hilarious and sums up what Ed Sheeran is. Usher did make Justin Bieber famous. I have a soft spot for Justin Bieber.
Oh, you would.
I'm not really 100%. I don't know really why.
You always cheer for the person who's like getting unfairly maligned.
Like, I don't really even listen to his music. I can't really explain. It's really weird, but I feel I have a soft spot for him.
Well, it's like my soft spot for Britney Spears.
I have a soft spot for Britney Spears as well. I feel like Britney Spears had her nervous breakdown at the worst time possible.
Oh yeah, social media was just like rising and everything, and
it was like paparazzi, you know, Perez Hilton, all that shit all at once.
Yeah.
You know, Like, God damn it, back in the old days of Hollywood, people were allowed to have a nervous breakdown in private.
Yeah,
God
man.
damn it.
Lana Turner and all that. So anyway, oh my god, I just got sent something very interesting by my friend Bill, and he knows that we're doing a Taylor Swift podcast, and he wanted to know if we knew that the neo-Nazi website Stormfront, have you heard of Stormfront, Rita?
No.
It's like even more right-wing than Breitbart.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's like run by proclaimed neo-Nazis. In 2016, the founder of Stormfront, so I guess the neo-Nazis leaders, I don't know, actually proclaimed Taylor Swift to be their quote-unquote Aryan goddess.
So I just Googled them.
Uh-huh.
Feel like...
Kind of gross, huh?
Yeah. I want to make an announcement that I am not a part of this. So welcome to Stormfront. We are a community of racial realists and idealists. We are white nationalists who support true, in bold italicized, diversity and a homeland for all, in bold italicized, peoples. Thousands of organizations promote the interests, values, and heritage of non-white minorities. We promote ours. We are the voice of the new embattled white minority. If this is your first visit, and your last, obviously, be sure to check out Introduction to Stormfront. Are you, like, this is just this thick stuff.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, so this is the thing that Bill put in the attachment of his email, that, you know, this was done last year where this website declares Taylor Swift to be their Aryan goddess. And he's like, so why didn't, if she was so upset about being associated with being a white supremacist this year, why didn't she do something about this, which he, in his opinion, he thinks is so much worse than the speculation of a California blogger?
So I just looked up Stormfront Taylor Swift, and on June 16th, 2009, a member who goes by the term Golaz, G-O-L-A-Z.
I have no idea what that means. Like goals or something?
Subject. Country singer Taylor Swift buddies up with a rapper Negro to show off her white N-word attitude. How can a white country singer sink low to posing with a Negro and show solidarity with multiculturalism? Note the Negro man's penchant for hamming it up with gangsta attitude and obnoxious dressing style with jewelry. She dresses to imitate a gangsta Negro like it's a joke. This sends a message to white female fans. It's all right to intermingle with Negroes and inferior brown-skinned races. Shame on her.
But then...
Ew. My stomach just literally turned. My stomach just turned.
But then, just a little bit later, in 2016, they call her a Nazi Barbie and declare her to be an Aryan goddess.
I don't know what to say.
So I'm just like, okay, sure. And, you know, I think in a way he has a right, he is right to say that, if she didn't want to be labeled a KKK member, why did she then, you know, not call them out?
Ew. Rainey. To that post I just read to you. Sorry to interrupt, but I need to.
No.
This is unfortunate. I liked some of her stuff. Now I have to delete it all from my MP3 player. I'll be sure to have everyone else I know do the same. Sorry, hon. I hope your career crashes like your life will when you start hanging with your homies and they rape you while you're high on crack.
Ew.
It's just honestly, this world is so disgusting these days. And, you know, I don't know what I would do if I were Taylor Swift. And, you know, obviously being...
Oh, you are much cooler than Taylor Swift, hon.
Well, thank you, Rainey. Thank you. And, you know, working in the Bronx with poverty-stricken African American children and seeing the things that they go through that, you know, I thought I understood before I worked that stuff. If I were suddenly famous, right, and a group came out and said that I was representative of them, I mean, that's fine. On the other hand, it's like, do you address it?
I would address it to denounce it.
So would I.
But, you know,
So would I.
we're like on the other side of 30 compared to her.
But like your friend Bill pointed out, it's like she makes a big deal about this blog I've never heard of. Never heard of. This I might be more likely to hear of, right?
Uh-huh.
I haven't. But that's because I hate Taylor Swift and I'll listen to a lot of her shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you think? Should we get into the nitty-gritty stuff? Do you want to go now, post Calvin Harris, Kanye?
Should I read the letter to before Reputation?
Well, I wanted to know, did you want to talk about Kanye and Kanye now?
Oh, of course. Are you kidding me? 100%.
Because I cannot steal Kanye and Kanye from you.
So, okay.
I just need to say, I just have to say, I never thought I'd be on the side of Kim Kardashian, and I'm so mad at Taylor Swift for making me take the side of Kim Kardashian. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
100%.
I could take the side of Kanye West, don't get me wrong. I can, because as big of a jackass he is, I still have a soft spot for him, but Kim Kardashian?
Yeah, I never thought I would agree with Kim Kardashian or be on her side, but unfortunately, this, you know, Taylor Swift, aka Satan, has made me be on her side. So essentially, after that whole incident for the everyone over time up their differences and they started to get along with one another, and Kanye West started thinking about his son. And the song came out. I'm gonna try to do this in chronological order to us, to the public. The song came out, and there was a line where he refers to Taylor, and then he says, "I made that bitch famous."
Which he did!
And then something like,
he did!
Which he did. He did. And then he said something like, you know, that bitch and I, or Taylor and I might still have sex, something like that. Which, you know, to be honest with you, if I was Kim Kardashian, I'd be like, excuse me? But whatever, you know, maybe it's
maybe whatever. It's them. Maybe it's them. Who knows? Maybe it's them. Maybe they get to talk about things like that. Whatever.
Yeah, like whatever. Needless to say, Taylor Swift's brother was the first person of the Swift family to react, and he publicly burned, I think, or threw out. I think he threw out his pair of Kanye sneakers,
which were ugly.
Right. And
I'm like offended by those ugly shoes.
Right. So this was his statement, and then Taylor finally came out. I believe she went to her next. She won something. Was it the Music Video Awards or a Grammy? I don't even remember.
Probably the Grammy.
She won some. Yeah, she won some award, and you know, really, who at the end of the day, who really fucking cares? Because she, you know, whatever, a bitch. But
she wins all the awards. She always does.
Right. She gave this whole speech about, you know, how she was speaking about him without saying his name, and, you know, how you can't let people get you down and you know, essentially ruin your reputation and say these things about you and blah, 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 blah. And everybody knew that she was talking about him.
She thinks she's so smart. I'm sorry. I have to jump in, Rita. She thinks she's so fucking smart. You know how she wrote Dear John, and she thought no one's going to figure out it's about John Mayer. And then she talks about, people are going to take credit.
even if they do, everybody's going to side with me. That's what she was thinking.
Yes. Okay,
You
go
know,
on.
that it doesn't matter. I'm sure she wanted people to find out, but she just assumed, and you know, people started writing after this, you know, after this whole thing about the problematic nature of this white blonde girl making accusations against an older black male, right? And so she came out, she had this whole speech. If people really care enough, they can look it up, but probably everybody already knows about it. She just made this whole thing about how she needed to empower herself and not let other people get her down. So Kim Kardashian started making a lot of ambiguous yet semi-directed toward her tweets about how, you know, this was all bullshit and things were going to eventually come out. She finally released via Snapchat stories a video that people had taken of Kanye during his creative process, and he called Taylor to play her the lyric. Now, the entire video is not intact.
Because it's Snapchat.
Right, but it's damning enough because the first part of the lyric, we might still have sex thing wasn't played, but I made that bitch famous is there. And it's the thing that Taylor, in her public statement, had the biggest issue with, because she said something like, you know, we're friends now, and I don't want to be referred to as a bitch.
Yeah.
Something. And he, in the video, says this to her, and she says, this is so great.
It's so funny. I love it.
Yeah, and, like, people are going to be asking me what I think about it, and it's going to be so funny because they'll have no idea that I already approved it. And it just, no matter what, looks really horrible for her. So he yields her receipts, as she refers them to, and everybody just freaking flips out. And I have to tell you that I just have to go into my head because she's freaking out. I loved the thing. I wanted to know everything I could about it. I was dying because this is the first time that I could remember that somebody who was so built up in the media and built up by her fan base was so pardon.
Oh yeah, the shit hit the fan.
Taken down. You know, say there was video evidence of it. Everybody was paying attention to it. Everybody was eating their popcorn. that she was not who she said she was. And for her to come out in the media before those videos were released, right, and her to be like, I had no idea about this, and, you know, I feel really offended, and I'm really insulted, and I thought we were going to be friends, and we've been getting along, and for him to do this is so outrageous. You know, these videos come out, and it's like, she's totally 100% knew these were coming out. These lyrics were coming out.
I love that Kim Kardashian says that after Taylor goes on the Grammys. And it was the Grammys. We were right, Rita. It was the Grammys. But Taylor comes out and plays and basically tries to recreate her MTV Music Award thing where, you know, she became the victim for the first time.
Right. And you know, people really, because, you know, this goes back to the racist roots of this country. You know, something that comes right to, is To Kill a Mockingbird, right? The young white girl accusing the older
the black man of raping her.
In the movie, but that whole dynamic happened in real life.
Oh yeah.
That this was playing into that of her being this girl who had been already insulted by him. He said, you know, it belonged to Beyonce, and then it was just this long stream. So she finally comes out with this what do you call that? The notes on the Apple phone. I guess it's like the iNote or whatever the fuck it is. And she released it on her Instagram that she no longer wished to be part of the narrative.
I have to ask you, what did you think about that? Because I laughed so fucking hard.
Well, a lot of people pointed to the fact people with much more sharper eyes than I have recognize that the note was dated or timed or edited or whatever, that it seemed that she had been drafting it for a while.
Oh, she would.
And it was like she had anticipated that this was going to begun crafting a message to it. That's what people were saying. I'm not as tech savvy as that. It wouldn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't surprise me either, because as a woman who is so obsessed with her image, I can imagine that she has that in her back pocket for whenever something happens.
I 100% believed Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Do I think that they're both kind of cool? Yeah, for different reasons. But that doesn't mean that Taylor Swift isn't despicable. And I 100% believed what they said.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that her statement after was hilarious, because it was like she was trying to say she was above them or taking, the higher ground, when in reality they had just dragged her through the dirt, rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
Been lying, right? But after that, she was like, she wasn't even going to address it, and she was dry her eyes and say, they victimized me, and I'm going to take the higher road because I don't want to be part of this narrative that I've been reluctantly dragged into since 2009? Was it? So, it just was really, when I read it, I was like, please, you know what I mean? It was, and I have to be honest with you, like I said, I ate this whole situation up.
Oh, it was so delicious. It was so damn delicious.
It validated what we were all thinking about Taylor Swift.
Oh, it was so freaking delicious, right? It was the most delicious thing ever. And the thing that I love the most about it is her thing of, like, I would like to remove myself. I don't think the only thing that, like, displaced that was Gwyneth Paltrow and her conscious uncoupling.
Oh, Jesus.
Which, we have to make Gwyneth Paltrow a topic for our podcast one day, can we? Can we please?
Yeah.
I mean, steam cleaning vaginas, Rita. Steam cleaning vaginas. Don't take that away from me.
I remember checking Snapchat. I wasn't even following Kim Kardashian, but I was following all of those news things on Snapchat. You know, you can follow all those stories on there. And I just wanted to know what people were saying, and I wanted to find out all the new and that's how the whole snake emoji got its feet, because Kim Kardashian posted, it was like shortly after that, and she was like, did you all know it was Snake Day? And she posted a whole bunch of snakes. And that's how, Taylor Swift began to be regarded as a snake. And I think that was for the first time. I think there was rumblings of it before about what Taylor Swift really was like. But this was something that was concrete. This was video evidence of Kanye West, who, can I tell you, I also have a soft spot for as well. He's an idiot. He's a narcissist. He's mean. He's all those things. But he made the song Mama.
About his mother. And it's beautiful.
And it's beautiful. And I feel like if you can love your mother like that, there has to be something good about you. I don't know if being with Kim Kardashian is for the better for him or whatever, but I get he's a narcissist. I get he's obsessed with him saying and all those things. But at the same time, I kind of feel sorry for him about this whole situation, because he was saying for the longest time, Taylor gave her permission.
Yeah, and no one believed him.
And nobody believed him. And they believed the white with the blonde hair who established her victim status from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
They were conditioned to believe her, and it's just really sad, and I felt really sorry for him. And Kim Kardashian, to her credit as a wife, you know, I don't really know if that was about her. I don't really know what her real motive was, but she was like, you know, my husband takes enough shit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come out going on. So, you know, kudos to her, I guess. But this was something that really damaged her career. And I remember asking, I always get on her case because I'm a very pop culture person.
Oh, yeah.
Movies, and I'm all about songs and art, you know, I'm all about that, you know, and she, like, kind of will watch a movie once every 6 months or whatever. She's, like, not really all about it. She does love Taylor Swift. And I asked her, you know, maybe a few months ago, I said to her, you know, what do you think about Taylor Swift's career? And she turned to me and she was like, oh, she totally fucked up. Her career is over. And it was, in spite of everything that happened, I never really thought of her career as over. I thought it was terrible press for her. I thought it was something that she was going to have to deal with and overcome. But I never was like, oh, you know, her career is over. And my friend was like, her career is done.
Well,
this was obviously before we heard anything about her recording or her next album or anything like that. My friend was like, she's done.
Well, we also have to remember, right after this whole Taylor Swift, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian thing, she breaks up with her long-term boyfriend, Calvin Harris. And, I don't know, I don't remember the gritty details about this, so help me out, Rita. But didn't he, like, get a writing credit for a song, and then I'm so confused. Do you know what I'm talking about, or am I just...
So they did that song together.
I don't know which song it was. I guess it's a pretty unremarkable song, because I don't remember it.
Oh my god, I can't think of the name right now. It's with Rihanna.
Okay.
Fuck.
So it's some Rihanna song.
But you can look it up while I'm talking, or we'll look it up after.
Okay.
But essentially, I feel like Rihanna was in it, whatever. So they both wrote the song, right? And she credited herself under a pseudonym.
Okay.
And the song comes out, he's in an interview, I believe with Ryan Seacrest.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Seacrest asks him if he would ever collaborate with Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
He says no. Well, right after that, there's rumors of them having broken up, there's all this bad blood, whatever. It turns out that she's furious that he says this because they did collaborate on the song, and she had been, you know, a silent collaborator in this whole thing. But because of this, she was so insulted, she comes out as a collaborator. Her name, you know, her pseudonym gets turned to her real name, whatever. And they break up. And then Calvin Harris comes, you know, forward when Katy Perry suddenly starts posting tweets directed toward Taylor Swift, that, you know, she sucks, whatever. Calvin Harris comes into this and
This is what you came for. I don't even remember that song.
Yes, this is what you came for. Mm-hmm. And he starts posting tweets, you know, that say something like, Taylor Swift is trying to come at me. She's trying to do to me what she did to Katy Perry. Mm-hmm. She's trying to ruin my career. You know, I refuse to sit by and let her tear down my career and my reputation. All of this stuff, people start flipping out because Katy Perry, for the first time, is really kind of also being honest about what's happened in their past. And their relationship ends. Rita Harris comes out with a song called Olay. And it is about a girlfriend who is unfaithful. And this is very interesting because almost immediately after her public breakup with Calvin Harris, Taylor Swift is photographed with Tom Hiddleston, who she shared a dance with, a sultry dance.
A sultry dance.
At the Met Gala. So people have speculated that Olay is about Taylor Swift, and it refers to her somewhat, whatever level of cheating. Middleton.
He looked like such a dork wearing an I Love Taylor Swift shirt.
Did you see his, I don't even know what award he won. He won something. In fucking whatever fucking bullshit he was in.
Mm-hmm.
It was something about, whatever, it was a third world country. I don't even know, because that's how little I cared. But he got publicly condemned because he came up and he was being very condescending and patronizing in his award speech about
something.
Kind of like hardcore shamed. But let's talk about how his whole thing with Taylor Swift ruined his career.
Well, I don't know. I still love him as Loki.
Shut the fuck up.
I do. I still like him as Loki.
I hate him. He's like I said, who was I saying before I could punch in the face?
John Mayer?
John Mayer. I actually hate Tom Hiddleston more.
Really?
Yeah, so let's be real. I don't know the ages and I don't care. But he was significantly older than Taylor Swift, right? He's a grown ass male.
He is.
Who the fuck subscribes to being in those stupid, ridiculous pictures and in this stupid, obviously manufactured bullshit relationship? He should be fucking ashamed of himself. So should Taylor Swift, but we know this isn't beneath her. This is what she's accustomed to. Her whole thing is manufactured.
No.
I forget. He wanted to be in, oh my god. I keep spacing on things tonight. The Bond movies. He wanted to be in the next edition of it. And according to, everyone, he was overlooked or passed by or rejected because of his publicity with Taylor Swift.
Good.
That publicity ended up hurting him, hurting his career. And to be honest, I don't think he's really recovered from it.
No, I mean, we all know without the Marvel movies, he wouldn't really have anything anymore.
I don't watch them. I haven't watched them.
Not even the Avengers?
Nope.
Aw, okay.
Nope.
Okay, well, after this, ignore her I Don't Want to Live Forever song with the One Direction guy for 50 Shades Darker. I do know that people were saying that it was a calculated thing that she put all of her music back on Spotify the same day Katy Perry released her new album, which I admit I have not listened to.
First of all, of course it was. Of course it was. You're telling me that out of the 365 days in a year, that the one day you decide to put all of your music back on Spotify is the day that your rivals publicly announced today's release of her album. You're going to tell me that that's just chance? Give me the fucking break. That is the pettiest move, the bitchiest move. And I'm going to be honest with you. Not into Katy Perry. Not into her. Not into her new album. But don't tell me that that's just chance. That's just insulting our intelligence. And if you could say that it is just chance and support Taylor Swift after, then, you've had a lobotomy and you don't even realize that.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to defend. Here's one thing that people said, right? Well, she said that she had been negotiating this thing with Spotify for the longest time, and it was not, she didn't choose the day, it's just what happened.
Do you really believe that?
No, of course not. I'm not fucking stupid.
Come on now, okay? On both their parts, you think that Spotify, if it was really just up to Spotify, is Taylor Swift, who is so meticulous about her career and her approval of things, if she really just handed all that away to Spotify, that they did that accidentally, and then if you say on the other side of the argument that it was really Taylor Swift's hands, you're going to tell me that she didn't know the day that Katy Perry's album was coming out. It is just so unbelievably petty and mean. It is at the bottom line. Taylor Swift has a song titled Mean. which I actually liked for a while, and I don't like country music. And I liked that. And that's what she is. That just goes to show all this shit coming together, you know, at the same time. Tom Hiddleston, Kanye West, that whole release of all of her music, of her catalog.
Well, okay, then what,
Spotify.
do you also agree that she dropped her song, Look What You Made Me Do, the single, on the 10-year anniversary of Kanye West's mom's death?
I don't know.
That's the part that also, like, I can believe that she would do that to, like, you know, torpedo Katy Perry, but to do that on the anniversary of someone's mom's death, when she gushingly talks so much about her own mother, makes me, you know, I wonder, like, is she really that awful?
Yeah, I don't know. That one I really don't know, though.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
You know, so, yeah. But, I will say this. There was a moment in 2017 when I was on Taylor Swift's side, was the whole groping thing by that DJ.
Yeah. I don't mean to be mean, but at that point I was just so tired of hearing about her.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I don't want to sound like I wasn't on her side, but at the same time, it's like...
I mean, like, I didn't care, but when the news came out, I was like, well, good for her.
Yeah, me too. I guess me too. Yeah.
You know, I mean, and all she asked for was $1, so, you know, I mean, it's not like she took him to the cleaners. Although my brother did say that is more insulting that she just asked for $1, because it's like, you already ruined his life and you just told him that's how much your life was worth to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, bro, you put that in a whole new light for me.
Yeah.
Okay, which leads us to us fighting with Taylor Swift because of 1 minute of her song, Blank Space, and that getting taken off YouTube because she must have fucking spies, right?
So this is the thing. Did somebody, and you know, of our modest audience,
of our zero audience, yes,
complain about us, or was it them who picked up on it? I think it's so weird.
I don't know. That's the thing that drives me batty, Rita, is I don't know who would do that, you know?
You think that they would have bigger issues to deal with, but apparently not. And this whole alt-right blog thing goes to show the depths that she goes to preserve her image.
Yes, let's go. That actually, after what happened to us, and honestly, it's such a, she had nothing to do. She had nothing to do with the podcast in general, because that podcast was the second part of our Twilight recap, and we only talked just a little bit about that song, and, you know, I think we asked about whose side are we on with the Kanye, Kim versus Taylor Swift. It was like 5 minutes of an almost hour and a half podcast, right?
Right.
And, I know I was like so mad, and I was like, Rita, you won't believe what happened, and you were like, no fucking way, are you shitting with me? And I'm like, yeah, and I send you the screen captures. And then this thing comes out with Taylor Swift being part of the alt-right. Did you want to introduce that? I know we teased it a little bit in the beginning, but let's jump in.
About the whole alt-right situation?
Yes, the blogger, the ACLU,
I've got dogs barking.
Don't worry, I have dogs trying to hump my door outside.
Chill out, animals.
They're mad too. They're mad too. I would
They're
be.
mad too, guys. Fuck it, let's do it. That's how they feel about that. Shut up. Holy shit, they're barking at nothing, too.
Well,
That's
my
the
dog's
thing.
barking outside.
Like, I could probably have a serial killer outside my window right now, and they wouldn't even notice it. They're barking at nothing. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me just allow them to GTFO. Sorry.
No worries. This is live, damn it. We're fucking doing it live.
Fuck it, let's do it live. So, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know the specific dog name. Shut the fuck up. Holy crap, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. Do you want me to intro it for you?
Yeah, intro it.
Okay, so this blogger from California website says that Taylor Swift is not a real feminist, which already, this would have been enough to make me take Taylor Swift's side because I hate the idea that there is a correct way to be a woman. But
right.
One of the things that made her angry was that Taylor Swift did not come out on Hillary Clinton's side during the 2016 elections, saying that,
I respect her for not taking a political stance. I actually respect her.
Well, I also think it's kind of stupid to say that how a celebrity votes affects how people in general vote. So, whatever. Okay. Then she goes on and she says that Taylor Swift's song, Look What You Made Me Do, it actually is irresponsible because it triggers victims of domestic violence because that is a phrase that abusers use to victim blame.
Right. Essentially, it's wacky critical analysis.
Yeah.
Talk about how weird it is that she sampled Right Said Fred. Too sexy. Like, I will never get over that. I would like to know whose decision that was, why they decided that would be an appropriate piece of music to sample.
I think she did that just to protect herself because after the whole debacle with Blurred Lines and Robin Thicke and getting sued by Marvin Gaye's family, I think anything that sounds remotely close, a lot of artists just do that just to avoid it. In my opinion. That's just my, inane, babbling opinion.
I've read things where it said that her and her writing team specifically chose that and sampled it. So I just think that's really weird.
Well, there goes see, I tried to help her and she goes and look what you made me do, Taylor. Now I have to take Rita's side.
Don't help her, Rainey. Don't help her. Don't you think that's weird? And I've talked about it with other people and I'm like,
it's fucking weird.
It's just that, it's a novelty song.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a novelty, one-hit wonder piece of music.
Oh no, I'm waiting for her to come out with a Christmas song that she's gonna give Alvin and the Chipmunks a writing credit.
Yeah. It's just so bizarre. Right Said Fred, I'm too sexy, I'm sampling from. You know what I mean? I just think it's really strange.
Now, I mean, I'll put a link to the original blog in the description in our podcast, but just skimming over some of the things, I mean, it's stuff that you and I talk about, how Taylor indulges in white woman victimhood, which, yes, I agree, and also says, the thing where I sent you a link to this article from Vice that says that, you know, how KKK members love Taylor Swift and they, you know, look at her blonde hair, her blue eyes, and how she's, you know, tall and white and everything. And, how Taylor Swift hasn't denounced them. So by being quiet, she is giving implicit agreement. And basically says like, oh, it's the same thing that Donald Trump does, that it's, she doesn't say no, so it's like she's winking at the camera. In all honesty, if I was Taylor Swift, I would have just ignored it.
Yeah.
But I'm
100%.
a sane person, so. See, your dogs agree with me.
Oh my god, they won't shut the fuck up. I'm about to kill them.
So, Rita, you and I agreed.
End up on the news.
So, Rita, you and I agreed that we would ignore it. Tell me instead what Taylor Swift and all of her billions and billions of dollars do instead.
They sue her, or whatever they did.
She sends her attorney to do a cease and desist, or we will sue your pants.
This bitch. You know how many people
I honestly don't understand the reasoning behind this.
There has to be a reason. Can't I just cease and desist people? Cease and desist by Rita. I mean, I feel like that would be really fulfilling to just cease and... It's just, you know what it is at the end of the day, Rainey? It is petty and immature and speaks to her character. It's just so dumb. Like, she didn't really, you know what I mean? Like, it's freedom of speech. She said some ridiculous, obnoxious things. Some of them are kind of true. Some of them are outlandish. But she's entitled to say that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know what? If she saw this article and got mad, I wouldn't even fucking care, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would actually be on her side and be like, this woman is crazy. This woman is batshit insane. How dare you? How fucking dare you? I would do that. I would not send my lawyers over and, like, try to shut this woman down.
Well, like I was saying before, too, this person in this blog got more attention because of Taylor and her attorney's actions. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been a nothing. It would have been a non-issue. But because they all dramatically got involved, we're hearing about it.
Oh, yeah.
I hate her. I hate her so much.
I think, okay, have you ever heard of the Streisand effect?
I don't know.
It's named after Barbara Streisand. In 2003, she got mad because Google Earth Image, sometimes take pictures of somebody's home or something like that.
Yeah.
She got mad because Google Earth Image took a picture of her home in Malibu. And no one really looks at Google Earth Images, right? Like, not really. Well, right. She sent a cease and desist letter to have not just the Google Earth image of her home, but, like, taken down everywhere else who used it. Like, it was a really weird letter. And everyone said no one would have even noticed it if she hadn't tried to sue Google to take it down.
Maybe it's because of my weak spot for Streisand.
Oh, I too love Barbara Streisand.
And I even saw her, I took my mother to see her in concert in Brooklyn because that's just me and my insanity. But at the same time, if I were a celebrity, and Barbara Streisand has crazy fans, right? Mm-hmm. I know for a fact, firsthand, at the concert, she has crazy fans.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of understand why she'd flip out if Google, took a picture of her home. Wouldn't you?
Well, okay. It wasn't just of her home, though. It was on the Malibu shoreline, and there's a bunch of other homes there, and I don't think anyone would have known in all of those other mansions, which one was her home.
Yeah, I guess I would have to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about it, so I guess I would have to look your commentary about it. But at the same time, yeah, these people are crazy.
Oh yeah, but like of course, the person who wrote the article about Taylor Swift is it's all speculation, and no one would have in my opinion, no one would have paid attention. She could have just.
And I agree with you about Barbra Streisand. Nobody would have been paying attention to that had she not made it a big deal. So that goes according to, Taylor Swift. Nobody would have, I would never. You said you once before or something like that, you've heard of it or whatever. I never heard of it.
Oh, I just heard of it because I live in California, and
That's what I mean. So it would have been.
Yeah, I have friends who listen to very, very left-wing blogs, and podcasts. So, I vaguely heard of it, but the writer herself declares herself to be an avowed Marxist, if that gives you any perspective of, yeah. Right?
So should we get into Reputation?
Yes, please.
Should I begin with the letter that Taylor wrote to her fans?
Please, wait, let me set the mood. Alright. I'm now wearing my blonde wig and got my victimhood card out. I'm ready.
So,
let's begin. Alright.
Alright, are we ready?
We're ready.
She released her highly anticipated.
Oh, was it? Was it really highly anticipated, Rita?
God damn it, it was highly anticipated. We're doing it live, okay? Her fans, her diehard, ridiculous fans were anticipating it. Everybody else couldn't give a fuck. But now it's out, and there's drama, so people care. And you can't escape over. But whatever. So it's her 6th studio album called Reputation.
Because it's what she lost.
Right. And before Reputation was released, her single, Look What You Made Me Do, which we already referred to before.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Alright. The old Taylor's dead.
By the way, it was really, I listened to it a few times, and, I was kind of like, okay, I could listen to this more. I don't, hate it. I don't loathe it, but I don't love it.
No.
I don't think it's great, you know what I'm saying?
It's no shake it off.
Yeah, and I sent it to my friend, and she was like, I fucking hate it. And I was like, I don't hate it. I'll love it. It's pretty dumb, but I'll, whatever. So that came out, everybody was already talking about it and talking about Taylor Swift's Reputation and all the allusions to all of her feuds in the music video that came out. But here we go, we finally have Reputation's release. And what's funny, and I'm not sure if you know about it, was that it was actually before. But whatever, it finally comes out, and she wrote a letter to her fans. And now I'm about to read it. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Got my victimhood card ready.
They're referring to it as Taylor's prologue.
Oh,
ready?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Here's something I've learned about people. This is all written by Taylor Swift to her album. Something I've learned about people. We think we know someone, that we only know the version of them they have chosen to show us. We know our friend in a certain light, but we don't know them the way their lover does. Just the way their lover will never know them the same way that you do as their friend.
Fucking stop using lover, Taylor.
Their mother knows them differently. Who knows them differently?
I fucking hope your mother knows you differently than your lover. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay.
The roommate who knows them differently than their cop. Hold on to your horses. Their secret admirer looks at them and sees an elaborate sunset of brilliant color and dimension and spirit and pricelessness. And yet a stranger will pass that person and see a faceless member of the crowd, nothing more. We may hear rumors about a person and to be true. We may one day meet that person and feel foolish for believing baseless gossip. This is the first generation that will be able to look back on their entire life story documented in pictures on the internet, and together we will all discover the after effects of that. Ultimately, we post photos online to curate what strangers think of us. But then we wake up, look in the mirror at our faces, and see the cracks and scars and blemishes, and cringe. We hope someday we'll meet someone who will see that same morning face and instead see their future, their partner, their forever. Someone who will still give you all the sides of the story, all the angles of the kaleidoscope that is you. The point being, despite our need to simplify and generalize absolutely everyone and everything in this life, humans are intrinsically impossible to simplify. We are never just good or just bad. We are mosaics of our worst selves and our best selves, our deepest secrets and our favorite stories to tell.
I don't know what to say.
And makes generosity, loyalty, and self-preservation, madism, and impulsiveness. I've been in the public eye since I was 15 years old. On the beautiful, lovely side of that, I've been so lucky to make music for a living and look out into crowds of loving, vibrant people. On the other side of the coin, my mistakes have been used against me. My heartbreaks have been used as entertainment, and my songwriting has been trivialized as oversharing. When this album comes out, gossip blogs will scour the lyrics for the men they can attribute to each song, as if the inspiration for music is as simple and basic as a paternity test. There will be slideshows and photos backing up each incorrect theory because it's true, and if you didn't see a picture of it, it couldn't have happened, right? Let me say it again. Goes in the back. We think we know someone, but the truth is that we only know the version of them that they have chosen to show us. There will be no further explanation. There will just be reputation.
I don't know what to say.
And let me just tell you that I've collected from a site Taylor Swift's most controversial lyrics of this album. Are you ready?
Oh, God. Okay.
For the song Ready For It.
Uh-huh.
In the middle of the night, in my dreams, you should see the things we do, baby. For Endgame, it's like your eyes are liquor. It's like your body is gold. You've been calling my bluff on all my usual tricks. So here's the truth from my red lips. From Don't Blame Me. Lord, save me, my drug is my baby. I'll be using for the rest of my life. For Delicate. Do the girls back home touch you like I do? Long night with your hands up in my hair. For the song So It Goes. Lipstick on your face. So it goes. I'm yours to keep, and I'm yours to lose. You know I'm not a bad girl, but I do bad things with you. For Kings of My Heart. So prove to me I'm your American queen, and you move to me like I'm a Motown beat, and we rule the kingdom inside my room. Late in the night, the city's asleep. Your love is a secret I'm hoping, dreaming, dying to keep. Change my priorities, the taste of your lips is my idea of luxury. For dancing with our hands tied, And darling, you had turned my bed into a sacred oasis. For dress, carve your name into my bedpost, 'cause I don't want you like a best friend. Only bought this dress so you could take it off. Holding back from you. Rainey, are you fucking kidding me? These lyrics suck.
Okay. Have you watched, Mother?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You mean that horrible movie?
yes.
Are you comparing the build-up and the pretentiousness of that horrible movie to the build-up and pretentiousness of these lyrics?
Yes. You know, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Darren Aronofsky.
I get you.
Darren Aronofsky said he wrote Mother
You are my West Coast to me. Sorry, go ahead.
Darren Aronofsky wrote Mother because he said he was in a bad place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote it, he admitted he spent very little time writing on it, and he was worried that people would not get.
It was like 2 or 3 days. It was something ridiculous.
Yes. And, he even wrote a poem to be read to accompany his movie to, like, give it context, right? I feel like Taylor's prologue is like Aronofsky's poem to try to explain the dumpster fire that she just made.
So, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's innately pretentious to present an album,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of the day, and I can say this as an English teacher to these kids all the time, that a song is a poem, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And make
So just make something that people can understand, damn it.
Yeah. It's pretentious to include a prologue like this. I feel like it was done for the benefit of all of us to hit us over what she was trying to do. And I think that her lyrics were fucking dumb and stupid and simplistic. I don't think that at the end of the day, I don't really think she's a good songwriter.
No. And then, I will say, with all of my problems with Darren Aronofsky, Requiem for a Dream was so beautiful. Like, I couldn't watch it more than once, but Requiem for a Dream was beautiful, and as much as I like some of Taylor's songs, I cannot say that she has anything that is equal to Requiem for a Dream. Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. We're doing it live.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Yeah, so, oh god, the pretentiousness of that poem?
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous to...
Was it even a poem?
It's not necessary. I don't know. No, it's not. It's just a statement. And I think it's ridiculous.
I don't even know what it's about. What was she trying to say, Rita? Don't hate me?
I feel like it was hitting us over the head with what she was attempting to do with the album. Let's be honest, is it necessary? Like, if you're a songwriter, a real songwriter, and you're writing real craft, you're showing your craft to your work, do you really need that? If you're really good at what you do you really need that?
I don't. Okay, I will admit, there are some bands who do a concept album, right?
Yeah.
And, they...
It's different though. Would you say that this was rewritten? Like, to me, so you know how you go on Pinterest sometimes, or on Facebook even, and people share these things or whatever, these statements, and they're really basic and simple, but people act like they're really deep and philosophical and they share them and they're like, damn. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, when they say that, something that's really stupid, like, the moment that you believe that you win, you're already a winner.
Yeah, I mean, it's like stupid statements that are obvious that have no real, like poetic value or anything like that. And people share them in like they're really deep statements and I'm like, this is not deep, this is dumb. That's what this feels like to me.
Or like when you go to someone's Tumblr and then it's like this weird screed, you know, and people are like, oh, that's so deep, but it's not.
So I just saw, due to our glitches that are Taylor Swift's fault, obviously, that you shared with me an article about Taylor Swift becoming a Nazi idol. Shall I read it?
Oh, God. Can we take it?
Can we take it? I'm gonna be really dramatic with it.
Okay.
If you want me to read it.
Okay. All right. Hang on 1 second. I have to. Is it as bad?
You sent it to me.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Written by Mitchell Sunderland.
Okay. I just skimmed it. I haven't read the whole thing, but I'm ready.
Oh, it's great. But it's from Mitchell Sunderland.
Mm-hmm.
Broadly.vice.com.
And we'll put a link in the description.
From May 2016. The title is Can't Shake It Off, How Taylor Swift Became a Nazi Idol. And the subtitle is Nazis and members of the alt-right consider Taylor Swift an Aryan pop queen who is red-pilling.
Oh, God.
Red-pilling in quotation marks.
Mm-hmm.
America into a race war through her pop hits. Are you ready?
Yes.
Every demographic chooses a pop icon. Gay men worship Cher.
I worship Cher.
Beyonce. And neo-Nazis worship Taylor Swift, a skinny, blonde Pennsylvania girl that they have labeled an Aryan goddess. Nazis and members of the alt-right, an internet subculture that is best described as the Venn diagram of hipster culture and white supremacy, have been spreading conspiracy theory that Swift is a covert Nazi. They claim Swift songs red-pilled America into believing a conservative racist agenda. Taylor Swift's representative, a publicist named Tree Payne, Tree is the first name, P-A-I-N-E is the surname.
Stupid name.
Did not return Broadly's request for comment. Firstly, Taylor Swift is a pure Aryan goddess, like something out of classical Greek poetry. Athena reborn.
Jesus Christ.
That's the most important thing, explains Andre Anglin, the writer of the white supremacist blog, The Daily Stormer. It is also an established fact that Taylor Swift is secretly a Nazi. And simply waiting for the time when Donald Trump makes it safe for her to come out and announce her Aryan agenda to the world. Probably she will be betrothed to Trump's son, and they will be crowned American royalty.
Which son?
Swift. Exactly.
Barron?
Swift is notoriously private about her political leanings.
I respect her for that.
Exactly. She told Rolling Stone, I've never seen this country so happy about a political decision in my entire time of being alive. I'm so glad that this was my first election. I'm not even going to read the rest. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And you know what? Not for nothing, but her handling of news about herself, about the claims that come out about herself, has led to these rampant, I don't even know how to put it, these proclamations as to what she's like. Do you agree with me?
I have to agree with Bill, right? I think that article about her being a sexy Aryan symbol is so much worse than that rambling of that crazy woman.
Yeah, and yet she goes after the crazy woman.
I know.
Why?
I know.
What do you think?
'Cause she's a dumb fuck is why. Sorry, Amy, sorry.
Do you think it's because it's easier for her? Do you think that she thinks that it's easier? First of all, is it easier because of the platform that the girl has as opposed to the platform that that guy has? Do you think that she thinks that her team thinks that it's easier to take down a woman than it is a man? I mean, what do you think that is? That she would go after one and not the other?
Hey, you know what it's all about? She wants to marry one of Trump's sons.
I mean, how many sons? So he has Barron, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has Donald Jr., who's married.
Eric, who is married.
What's his name?
Eric.
Are they so creepy? Though, I mean, aren't they creepy?
I don't know why those two kids look like they're trying to audition for American Psycho, the remake.
I feel like you're paying them a bigger compliment than they deserve because you're putting them in the pool of Christian Bale.
Oh, he also has anger issues.
You need to be careful with that because aesthetically, do they fit in with, or even mentally, do they fill in, the character of Christian Bale, what he's great on screen. Be careful with that.
No, I'm just remembering Christian Bale in American Psycho and how he fed that cat to the ATM machine.
Yeah. I mean, I love that movie. We could get into the whole symbolic ending, what's real and what's not. We can talk about how he has sex with the prostitutes and stares at himself in the reflection of the mirror and all that.
His love for Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis in the News, baby.
Oh God, I sense another podcast coming on.
Talking about Phil Collins and everything.
Genesis.
I have to tell you something.
Oh.
I have a weird interest. I wouldn't call it an obsession. I would just call it an interest in Hollywood's portrayal of 1980s New York. So that entails, movies that were made in the 1980s that were set in New York City, and there were a lot of them. Because that was that whole yuppie stage, right? That whole yuppie time.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are the movies during the 90s, like American Psycho. I believe American Psycho was in the 1990s that were set in the 1980s, in New York City. Showing a yuppie, right? Because Christian Bale was a yuppie amongst other yuppies.
He was the yuppie.
I find it really interesting. I love to watch movies that took place accurately during the 1980s in New York City. I don't know why, I find them really interesting.
I have yet to find a place that actually, no, I take it back. Fruitvale showed what the real Bay Area looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's something about it. There's something about, it could be, I guess, because I'm a New Yorker. There's something that was weirdly wholesome about the 1980s. And that's ridiculous because we know, right, there was a whole cocaine time. There was, all these people who were raised by the baby boomers who were raised to feel invincible and perfect, and I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'd love to see, and I could just name a whole host of movies that were filmed in New York City during that time, and there was something that was very clean and very New York about them. I wish I could find better ways to describe it, but I hope that you know what I mean.
All I can say is whenever I think about New York, I always think of Eddie Murphy's Coming to America. You know, it's like, Queens! Which is probably like I have such like, my idea of what Queens looks like is stuck in the 80s. But I do know all of my friends who live in the East Coast fucking hate that Rory Gilmore in the Gilmore Girls remake moved to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Cause she's like a Lena Dunham wannabe, and of course she would fucking move to Brooklyn.
The city, so Brooklyn has changed, man.
I hear it's become, hipsterfied.
It is entirely hipsterfied.
Welcome to my hatred of Berkeley.
Yeah. Yeah. It's become, the ironic man bun.
Unironically.
Yeah. All that shit, like Jesus.
Okay, so now I feel that we have, well, I don't know about you, Rita, but are you still mad at Taylor Swift? Because I feel like this was good for me in a way, because I've been holding on to so much rage.
Yeah, I'm still mad at her. Okay, yeah. She's a fake bitch who proclaims something, and the thing is that, like I read before, her prologue to her album, and then her album, there are people who are still diehard fans of hers, and who think that that's good songwriting. Okay, this is the problem that I have, right? Not everybody, mostly everyone who's out writing songs, their songs are not wonderful works of art, let's be honest, right? They're not Keats.
No, they're not.
But they're catchy.
They're not even...
And people like them. That's fine. Because people recognize them for what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift fans try to come out and say that they're these wonderful works of art, and I have problems with that. And I think that Taylor Swift as well thinks that her works are akin to Keats, and it's fucking laughable that she thinks that, or Wordsworth, or anything like that, right? Shelley, fine.
She's not even fucking Jim Morrison.
Right. But I think that that's what she thinks, and I think that's what her fans think. And the problem is that in spite of all the bad press that she's gotten and all this shit, she has a diehard fan base. And I think that there's going to be people who listen to the prologue to her album and listen to her album and are like, fuck yeah, Taylor, like, fuck them, they fucked you over and all this shit. And I think that that's ridiculous. And I just kind of have to be honest with you, after the whole Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West drama, I thought to myself, good, her career is starting to dwindle, and we're not going to hear as much about her, and maybe it's going to be over. Because I don't think that she's a positive role model. I think that she's a fake. I think that there's going to be girls and boys who look up to her, and they're going to think, we're the underdogs, and, we're going to be like her, and I think that's a problem, because I think she's a bit of a bully. And
But I think we did our part. We are one little podcast holding out against this giant blonde monster.
I feel like we need to record something tomorrow. I think we need to I'm serious. I'm 100% serious. I feel like, because and this is my fault.
It is not your fault.
No, I've been lost in life. And not even, interest in life. Not even fun life. Not even, rom-com version of people getting lost in their lives. I'm just just whatever. I feel like tomorrow we should do something fun.
Okay, what do you want to do?
I don't know, we have a lot of ideas that goes into the fucked upness of the mainstream. You know No, I'm 100% serious though. Like tonight we have hopefully shown people why Taylor Swift is problematic.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about My Little Ponies?
Oh my god. You know I wanted to get into Jane Austen.
Yes, but you wanted to talk about something fun, and Jane Austen would be like us being serious.
But Jane Austen is fun for me.
Okay, do you want to talk about Jane Austen and Bridget Jones's Diaries?
Listen, but is that sad that that's fun for me?
No.
Like, is it?
No.
You're saying that, but you're not putting your full energy into that. Like, can I just tell you that after I graduated college, I still was looking up literary criticism about Jane Austen.
Okay, Jane Austen me would require me putting my brainy pants on. So that's why I'm a little intimidated. But I will let you lead on that.
But it's so much fun.
I just want to point out that when you look up literary criticism, you look up Jane Austen. I look up literary criticism, and it was for Twilight.
But that's valid as well.
No, it's not. Oh my god! If people could see the notes I sent you for Twilight, it was so ridiculous.
No, but it is true because, listen, literary criticism of shit can't exist in a vacuum. It just can't.
Why?
The whole point of
Why was my notes for Twilight longer for your notes for the Scarlet Letter?
Because I'm lazy.
Okay, but okay, we'll do Jane Austen live tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%. Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Okay, fuck it, we're doing it live. All right, thank you everyone for listening. I'm Rainey. She's Rita.
I'm Rita, and please don't listen to Taylor Swift. She sucks.